All right. Welcome to another episode of Talking About Feelings. I'm here again with my buddy Jerome, the jacked yogi, as I like to call him. Yeah, there he is. Look at that. Look at that. Back here in San Diego, doing some good spiritual work together. Just had another big breakthrough.
Doing some inner work, inner process of transformation.
What that actually means is kind of so much of what I've been talking about throughout the different episodes, using life to kind of point you to see what comes up and where you need to heal, to look at things. Usually stuff from childhood trauma, things like that.
Releasing core limiting beliefs
Yeah.
that we have about ourselves that hold us back from feeling whole, from achieving what we want to achieve, or being healthy, or living the life we want to live.
It can be a very elusive thing, you know. I've talked on this show about whether it's chasing success for self-worth, chasing outcomes. Definitely have gotten in relationships searching for my self-worth. Some people chase fitness for the self-worth. Nothing wrong with any of these things. As you know, it's awesome to be successful. We all want it. Jerome is a fitness guru here. But if we're chasing it for our self-worth, any of those things, if we're chasing it for a sense of wholeness, it's always going to be elusive. For me, that's shown up in so many ways. It also can show up with personal growth. This stuff, spirituality, right? I know that I've been in this thing. I'm always wanting to improve myself. And on the surface, that's a good thing. But I'm never satisfied. No matter how much I improve myself, there's always this, but I didn't resolve this completely. I'm still feeling this here. I still have this limiting belief. It's again what I've talked about before, this perfectionism of never good enough. And it can be ironically done with spirituality, with this kind of personal growth work. No matter what I resolve, it's not good enough. And Jerome and I were just doing this session, and I was working on some core limiting beliefs and issues and other things that were coming up for me. And unlike previous times where I had these massive, amazing breakthroughs, I had one before the last video we just did. This time I wasn't getting it. We worked on it for a while, and Jerome after a while was just like, you know what? Maybe it's time just to let it be and not force this. And I was feeling very incomplete. I was feeling very inadequate. And I was like, I feel insecure, man. I feel inadequate. I didn't get the breakthrough or resolution I want. I feel like I want this to be resolved. I want to crush this limiting belief. I want to crush this and feel I got my breakthrough.
Clear, resolve it, get it all out.
Get it all out. It's like this ambition with personal growth.
The question I asked, though, is very important to know, is that in the midst of that unresolved feeling, is there a part of you that's untouched by that dissatisfaction?
Say that again. In the midst of that unresolved feeling,
of frustration,
of insecurity,
see if there's a part of you that is untouched by it. It's okay, that was here before that experience, and just feel where that is. And just see if it's there.
And in other ways to say that is what we said before. Is there a part? How do you know you're feeling inadequate? Who's aware of that? Like if you're feeling inadequate or insecure, that means there's a part of you that's aware that you're feeling inadequate or insecure. It's the simplest thing in the world, basic mindfulness, but we always forget it. I always forget it.
And you don't have to even think about it that deep. Just notice if there's a part of you that is untouched by the sadness, the frustration, the dissatisfaction, and just relax and rest there.
Oof. And I was feeling this.
Just rest there. That's where home is.
And that right there, like I was feeling this inadequacy, this, I didn't completely resolve. And this is something that's carrying through my life. I'm always chasing this feeling of perfection. Like I always need to be in this flow state, or I always need to be happy, or I always need to, and always chasing this. And I was frustrated. I was like, I didn't have a breakthrough, came all the way to San Diego and didn't have it. And he was like, what is that part of you that's untouched? If we go into that inadequacy, that feeling that's not resolved, what is that part of you that's untouched? And I took a breath and I became aware of what part of me was feeling this inadequacy. Suddenly I had this breakthrough that came from within me. It was just like, oh my God, whether I resolve something or not, I'm always whole. I'm always home.
There it is. And that's when it comes.
That was an emotional breakthrough for me.
Yeah, that part of you that is untouched by the sadness, that is always whole, is your consciousness, is your very existence. Your very existence and your consciousness has been with you through all feelings and emotions, states of consciousness, successes, joys, as well as the deepest, darkest secrets, your sadness, your depression. That part of you that is untouched by that is always there. And so you can rest there, and there's a power in that consciousness, that existence. It allows your body to, your breathing, it allows your heart to beat. It's the very nature of your being. You can't get more of it, and no one can take it away. You can't give it away. But yet, in that source where this beingness and existence, this part of you that's untouched, this allows the existence of all light. It causes the sun to shine, the waves in the ocean, the breeze, flowers to bloom, the seasons to come, the earth to rotate around the sun that nurtures and nourishes all life with the seasons. That same source that allows all of that is breathing your breath and beating your heart.
And yet,
it's untouched by any of that.
That awareness, that source, as simple as that is so subtle that if you look for it, you're frustrated and you can't find it.
Right.
Because you can't look for it, you know?
It's like when you reach for something, if you're reaching too hard for it, you might push it away.
It's like if you're looking for air, you just breathe, you know, and it's there. I was looking for this breakthrough, and I was looking, and the issue we were working on, I couldn't find it, because normally in the past I had breakthroughs that working with you, that the issue led to a breakthrough eventually when but this time I kept working on this issue and I was forcing it, and I was like, there's no breakthrough. Why isn't this resolved? When he said, well, what if you go into that part of you that feels frustrated and inadequate, that it's not resolved? And when I said, there's a part of me that almost had to give up on the breakthrough. There's a part of me that almost had to be like, all right, well, where do I feel this inadequacy? I felt it in my chest. But then who is the I that feels it? That's the part of me that he talks about that's untouched. Some people call it the witness. There's many names. When I became aware and that I was like, oh, I'm here and it's okay that this is unresolved and I'm whole and I'm home, regardless of whether this is resolved or not, I had the breakthrough that I was looking for. It was elusive. I was like, oh, that is the breakthrough. Because if I had resolved it, there would be no chance to see that the lesson is you are loved and lovable and perfect and awesome, whether you resolve these things or not. Because there's always something to resolve. There's always another issue. No matter in a material sense, no matter how much you succeed, you can always achieve more success. No matter how good your relationships, you can always make it better. No matter how many things you attain, no matter how many spiritual breakthroughs you have, you can always improve. We can always be perfectionistic and hard on ourselves. The reason it was so emotional for me is like, oh my God, like I was like, I've been my whole life searching for this wholeness, and it's been here the whole time. And it's been me the whole time. And it sounds so simple and it sounds so trite in a way, but it really hit me.
But it requires a felt sense of the experience.
And I just felt like I just had this breakthrough, and he gave me a hug, and I was like, man, I just feel like my whole life I've been searching for myself, and I just found it. My whole life I've been searching for this wholeness outside of me. I've been searching for it even in spiritual growth, thinking, okay, this will bring me to wholeness. The whole point is you're perfect in the imperfection, because without the imperfection you wouldn't know that you are perfect, because I didn't know before half an hour ago how to connect with this wholeness.
The breakthroughs and evolutions that you want in your life, you can't get them through force and struggle. It's just by that alignment with source, and that alignment from source comes through surrender. And you're surrendering to that source that breathes your breath, beats your heart, that causes the sun to shine, trees to grow, flowers to bloom. That same source that causes the waves in the ocean is creating the breakthroughs and evolutions in your life. And the key to open that is surrender. Surrender is the invocation of that grace light.
By the way, it's simple, but it's not easy. Simple does not mean easy. And it's like I listened to Michael Singer, author of The Untethered Soul, talk about surrender.
The key is, can I relax in the face of the reaction? And when people come to me and say, well, the anger won't relax, right? Well, of course not. Anger doesn't know how to relax. Defensiveness doesn't know how to relax. But you who is experiencing, I love, you obviously were talking to me from a place of witness consciousness because you described to me what it felt like to have that reaction. That meant you were in there noticing it. You who notices it wants to do something about it to make it stop. That's why you have these snippy comments. That's why you attack or whatever, or run away, whatever it is, right? Fight or flight, right? No. What you need to do about it is relax. If you will relax instead, you gave it some space to release.
I wonder if we can just do a quick meditation. Whoever's watching, whatever's coming up for them, maybe it's tension in their body, maybe you can guide them into how they can just drop into that awareness, that simplicity of being.
So wherever you are right now, whatever you're feeling in the moment, feel that experience. Feel it fully, without resistance, without pushing the feeling away, without trying to fixate on it, without making a judgment of that it should be there or shouldn't be there. Just let it be there. And in the midst of that experience, notice that there's this experience that you're having, and there's also at the same time part of you that's aware that you're having the experience. And acknowledge that that awareness was there before whatever you're feeling now was there. So just rest in that awareness and just relax. Allow whatever arises to be there. And just feel it without putting a name on it, without making a judgment about it, without any attachments or aversions. Just feel. And that's enough. Can you be with it? And in the midst of that being with it, see if there's a part of you that's untouched by it. And rest there. Rest there. That's your home.
Beautiful. It's an ongoing journey. What people have been telling me, every self-help book, everything, no matter how imperfect I am, whether I reach breakthroughs or not, succeed or not, I'm home, I'm whole, I'm loved, I'm enough, no matter what.
Yes.
If this was helpful, not helpful, we're open to your feedback. Any questions, let me know. Again, Jerome, mindbodyfitnesssd.com if you're in San Diego area especially, but he does remote sessions as well. Take care. Blessed be. I'd love to hear what you come up with. You can share it in the comments below. If you would like to subject yourself to more of me talking about my feelings, you can subscribe, but just know you have been